This is a tutorial for selection tools in Photoshop. We're going to start by opening up the application and creating a new file. You can title your file up at the top and then make sure that it is in inches, that it is 300 dpi or 300 pixels per inch, and then just say create. This is what it looks like when you make your canvas. I'm just adjusting the frame so that it fits so I can also see my visual language folder. I'm going to open up my scans and then just begin dragging them right into Photoshop. To be able to place them, you do have to hit return, and you have to do that before you place the next scan. So I'm just repeating this process, dragging and then hitting return to place. As I do this, a new layer is created for each of the scans. If you want to resize them, you can grab the corners and play around with the size, but we're going to have plenty of time to do that as well as we move through the process. Now that I have all these in there, I just want to show you the layers panel. If it's not there, go to Window and Layers and you will be able to see it. But these layers right now, they are all smart objects, and so they need to be rasterized. So what you're going to do is right click and then drag down to rasterize. So you have to right click right in the layer. Once you do that, that little smart object icon will disappear. You want to do that for all of your layers and then select all your layers. You can do this by selecting the first one, hold down shift and select all of them. And then you're going to go up here where it says normal and choose multiply. So this is blend modes. So when you choose multiply, you'll be able to see through all of them without having to change the opacity of your layers. We're going to go to the lasso tool. You can hit L or go to the toolbar to the left. And we're going to start extracting some of these elements. I want to get rid of the background, so I'm going to go to select and then inverse, and then I'm just going to hit delete. And that's going to get rid of that background on this object. It's not perfect. I just want a little less excess space. You can go up to the move tool. It looks like a little cross with arrows, and you can shift things around. That little eyeball on the left is your layer visibility. You can turn that on and off to see the different layers. Now, if you have 3 different images on a single scan, you can cut them out with your lasso and then create a new layer with the plus sign in the layers tab, and then Command C and then Command V. So I'm going to do that with each of these. So again, I'm cutting it out with the lasso or selecting it out with the lasso and then Command C, Command V into that new layer. You have to make sure that layer is selected so you can paste into it. You can rename these layers as well as you add these other elements into them. That way, all 3 of these are separate elements. I can move and scale and resize as needed. So I'm just going through that process. Just make sure every time you create a new layer and that you're actually selected on that layer before you hit Command V, as in Victor, to paste. So I've done that with a bunch of my scans here, and I'm just going to continue the process. When you do create those new layers, however, they're not going to be in that multiply mode. So you may want to do all this formatting and then turn them all into the multiply blending mode. You can also delete any excess imagery like the side of the sketchbook. Again, I have a second image, so I'm just copying this onto a new layer. And it's a little bit of a repetitive process, but that will help you really understand how to use selections, how to use some of these basic key shortcuts, and how to work with layers. So the repetition is good. So once you've gone through this with each of your scans and you have everything separated out, then we can move on to the next step, which is using the transform tools.